This next poem I wrote on my first ever trip to the Isles of Scilly on the Salonian. It wasn't a great experience. This is called The Sick Bucket. At the Isles of Scilly travel shop, we were given a bit of a shock when their folk advised us not to go. We told them, we're for a maritime stock. It's going to get rough out there, they said. Before it's better, it will get worse. So we've only got ourselves to blame, or were they psyching us in reverse? Those first few miles didn't seem so bad because we're still in the calm of the bay. But our meeting with the Atlantic caused a sea change to darken our day. The clues are all there. Easy wipe seats. Sick bags displayed like flowers in church. Tourists placed towels on toilet side chairs for seeing that first ominous lurch. At this point I'm calm but affected. The recall is my wife's and not mine, but I'm smouldering like Vesuvius in the year of our Lord 79. There's sweat like lava poured out of me. There's a mounting concern for my heart, and my skin took on a greenish hue, Odinil on the home base paint chart. That maritime stock is now laughing. Yes, I know, just who was I fooling? The ghost of a great-great-great-granddad rolled his eyes and sailed back to Newlyn. There's waves of nausea washed over me like the waves of no sea from my past. Not calm like Nelson at Trafalgar, I'm just fearful to fire the first blast. It may have been my trigger stomach that was cause of all the upheaval. Not calm like Nelson at Trafalgar. Sorry. It may have been my trigger stomach that was cause of all the upheaval. It could have been me who urged them to a more than necessary evil. Primed to launch that initial broadside, I did my utmost best to chuck it into a pre-prepared Sainsbury's bag, but I missed on the old sick bucket. So what did I care for from that point on? If I breached the others' defences, I battened down hatches, closed my eyes, made the most of my other senses. Nascent foghorns cried out from their nests as a baby sobbed uncertain tears at how he felt and the reticence of his parents to comfort his fears. A cacophony of wretches retched, their eyes squeezing out of their orbits, piteous wails and the gnashing of teeth on those high-content ginger biscuits. My mind recreated surroundings as people lay abject and fainting and clung to dear lives in a scene that Jericho can't wait to start painting. Synchronised sick bags persist as if we're all into this summer's craze. You'll have heaps of fun with Maldemare, and just think of the money you'll save. For 2 long hours this torment persists as I float in and out of my wits. How can the word sick mean great these days? Although Sikorsky probably fits. The ship now filled with the acrid stench, that familiar reek of vomit. The spent force silence endures until a child's toy cries out, "Nice cheese, Gromit." I'm not one for voicing shortcomings, but this time I really must insist. Had Dante sailed on the Salonian, a 10th circle of hell would exist. Arrival at Hughtown did little to be calm the churn in my nethers, as blinking and bleached I made footfall in my pair of spew-splattered trousers. A half-hearted meal was partaken before we could set off and explore. Unwinding was out of the question, as we're back on that vessel at 4. The sun burnt away our misgivings as the isle bid us stay ever long. We passed on the lotus leaf pasties and the CD of a siren song. Caressed by those palm-waving zephyrs, typically subtropical really, so familiar, yet so different. How could we not love? It's just silly. The sail home was hot, blue and balmy. It was more like a cruise on the Med. Wish myself here? Well, what's not to like? Such a change from wishing myself dead. So yes, I'll go back to the Scillies by boat, Mill Pond only, but someday I'll quote Latin to sum up our trip. Sick in transit, glorious Monday. Thank you very much for listening to the Poets of Penzance. Thank you to Jackie. I'm Gray Lightfoot. Thank you.